Is your X-ray image grainy? Are you seeing ghosts in your X-ray image? Maybe all you need is a good calibration. Let's learn how and why you need to calibrate your X-ray machine. So calibration is an interesting topic when we talk about X-ray inspection and X-ray machines. What I did here is to give you guys an idea of how and why we calibrate the sensors on our X-ray machines. So let's start with a very simplistic X-ray sensor with 4 pixels only. Pixels 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what's interesting to observe is that each pixel has a different response to the radiation that we put on it. So for example, let's go to pixel 1. Pixel 1 here, if we put 40 kilovolts, right, and the same amount of current for all these experiments. So if we put 40 kilovolts on pixel 1, we're going to have 90 ADUs, which is ADC measurement units. So ADC is analog to digital converter, so that's the number that we're getting out of our ADC. So 40 kV, 90. If we go to 90 kV, we're gonna get 900 ADUs, right? So 40, 90. Now, the next pixel, just next to it, at the same 40 kV, it's gonna give us an output of 100, and 90 kV gives an output of 1,000. The third pixel, 40, 120. And at 90 kV, we get a 1200 out of the ADU. And check out, pixel 4 is a little bit different. Pixel 4 at a 40 kV gives us 130, but at 90 kV, it gives us 800 ADUs. So each pixel in an X-ray sensor is going to behave slightly different, right? So what? In this ADU scale, 0 is black. It means there's no radiation, and the top of the ADU is white. So for example, most of our sensors are 16 bits, so the top ADU will be 65,000 and some change. That means you have a white image, so it's fully saturated. The issue is that with an X-ray imaging system, we want to look at differences inside the material, right? So we're looking at these numbers here to represent density of what we're trying to inspect. The fact that naturally the sensor is giving us different results will get us a very grainy or shadowy image that really doesn't help us at all. So what we do is, if you look at this approximation as a linear, within some boundaries, each pixel is going to behave as a linear system. You have y is equal to ax plus b. That's the equation of a line. If you put a specific kV, you're going to get an ADU. So what we do is, we take an image. In our case, we use 2 images. We do offset and then gain. The offset image is with X-ray off. So we're trying to get the black image, right? So black, everything. And believe it or not, when you turn off the X-ray, some pixels are going to show up ADU values. So what do? You set A and B for each one of those pixels so that if there's 0 kV, everyone is 0. So you adjust A and B for each one of the pixels to achieve that. And then for gain, we get another, we put up 40 kV or 90 kV, we take another image, and then we set A and B, so all the values for the image is exactly the same. So we have a flat image for both offset and gain. Now, for gain, we end up with a matrix that looks like an image, and what's in that matrix is a set of values of A and B to get those values right. And then for each value in between, we adjust A and we have A and B for each one of the pixels. For each kV that we get, we know what Y or which value of the ADU we're going to show in the image. And with that, we can take a very non-linear and very varied, grainy image and make it really flat and really nice when you do the inspection. So that's the process of calibration. You don't have to do it every time. If you change the density or the power level, we might have to do a calibration for a specific level, because guess what? This is linear, right, within this range, but in reality, the pixel response is more like this, right? It has a tapering on the high end and lower end, and we approximate as a linear. So if you need very low power inspection or higher power inspection, you might have to do a calibration, which is a very, very easy process to do in our machines. Couple clicks on a button and it gets done. Now, it's really important when you do the gain calibration, the offset image collection, those 2 images, those 2 reference images, you have to do it without any objects, any samples on the system, of course. Otherwise, you end up calibrating this sample on the image. And we've had customers do that in the past, and we just help them with the process. You have to calibrate without any samples on the stage, because if you do that, the A and B values for the equation show up in that specific sample, and every other image you take, you see the shadow of the sample you calibrated with. So I hope this was helpful in to understanding why and how we calibrate our X-ray machines. And if you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and reach out to us if you have any further questions. Thanks for watching.